Hello and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this quick video, we will talk about how the year 2021 is likely to pan out for the Aries Ascendant or Aries Moon horoscopes. So this is what is called as Varsh Pravesh Kundli, or the chart at the beginning of 2021 year. In looking from the Aries perspective, we get a chart in which the cardinal houses 1, 4, 7 and 10 are very well occupied by some of the major planets, and these houses of these cardinal houses also have the active signs of 1, 4 and 10, that is Aries, Cancer and Capricorn. So the very first thing which comes out of this chart is a lot of activities. This year is going to be one very happening year for Aries folks, especially with Mars, the Lord of Aries, placed in the first house itself, and it will be at the beginning of year in the early degrees in Ashwini Nakshatra, which shows a lot of energy and enthusiasm and at the same time ambition to get many things done in this year. Now, coupled with this, you have Saturn and Jupiter, two of the planets which have biggest impact on a yearly cycle, placed in the 10th house of profession. 10th house, which literally shows the 12 o'clock in the daytime, which is the time of a lot of activities. So when these two planets are in the 10th, in one ways it is good. It is a very, or let's say it's one of the benefic angles for these two planets to be. But on the other hand, this can almost create like a pressure cooker kind of situation, where you might have, too much going on, too much to handle kind of situation. And in this chart, if you see, we have Rahu, the North Node, placed in second house, which is aspected by a debilitated Jupiter from the 10th house. So the fifth aspect of Jupiter will fall on Rahu, which generally is a good indicator for family happiness. Jupiter's aspect on the second house is good for family, and we will talk about it later. But in terms of work, what this shows is you might end up committing too much. See, second house is the house of your speech, what you say, and both these planets, Rahu as well as Jupiter, loves to talk big. Now in this case, Rahu is aspect of Jupiter with a very ambitious Mars, the Lord of Aries sign, placed in first house. So it doesn't show tendency to outright lie, but it definitely shows that either because of the ambition or simply due to the inherent aggressive nature, you are likely to commit more than what you can deliver. See, there is a good saying that the secret of exceeding expectation lies in making or setting the expectation. Now with this situation, what happens is, especially in professional life, especially in your business life, you can end up committing a lot, you can end up promising a lot, and then you will have to work really hard in a pressure cooker like situation to deliver on those promises. If you are in job, you might find similar situation in your job front. You may not have committed things, but you might have very tight deadlines and a lot of hectic activities during this time. Now, those activities are also the time for expansion. So there will be good expansion, make no mistake about that. The same position which we just talked about, Rahu here with aspect of Jupiter, will end up eventually giving you financial gains also, especially later in the year, especially after the first 3 months when Jupiter moves into the 11th house, where it will give you good financial result too. But pretty much throughout the year, there will be a lot of hectic work going on. Professional front will remain one of the key focus area, and you should try and not overcommit in this time frame. Now let's talk about the home and family life. We are starting the year with Rahu in the second house, Moon in its own sign is placed in the 4th house, which is a good thing, but it is in a highly emotional sign of Cancer, and a very active sign, aspected by Mars, the 4th aspect of Mars. Good thing is there is aspect of Jupiter, but remember Jupiter is debilitated, and the aspect of Saturn as well. These combinations are definitely indicator of either neglect or discontent within the family members, which primarily is going to arise because of your attention mostly going into your professional front. A lot of hectic activities in one area of life can take your focus away from your family members, and that is one thing which needs to be balanced out during this time. Another thing is mother's health. Health of the mother could be a concern area because of various reasons. We see Saturn, which is from the 4th, is the lord of negative houses of 7th and 8th, and it's becoming quite strong during this year. Along with that, the placement of Mercury and Sun is also a little bit adverse from the Moon. So health of the mother, or regular health checkups for her should be done, especially after the March month, because then Jupiter will move to the 8th from 4th house, and that can trigger some of these events. Now next very important area is your relationships, which is both marriage and romantic relations, as well as the business relationships. Now that again would be a little bit of a concern area because the aggressive Mars has direct aspect on the 7th house. Saturn, a very strong Saturn, is also aspecting the 7th. Now Saturn's aspect is good for stability of any kind of relationships, but the fact that Mars and Saturn both are aspecting it together, while that is happening, the lord of 7th, Venus, is placed in the 8th house with Ketu. So this has a couple of significations. First of all, health of your spouse. So if you are married, and this is especially true for male chart, if your spouse is a female, and if she has any kind of urinary tract issues, those can kind of come up during this year. From the spouse's placement, the 7th and 8th both has malefic planets occupied, with Venus itself little bit weak, and at least initial 3-4 months Jupiter not providing enough support can lead to some or the other health issues. Also during this time you might need to take care of your in-laws or somebody from the in-laws family. In fact, not just you, the indications are such that your spouse would need to devote some of her time to take care of her family, somebody from her side of family, and since you yourself are pretty much focused on your profession, this can cause even some strains, So you need to be a little bit more understanding and adjusting towards those factors. You are kind of raring to just go out in 2021, especially with Rahu in the 2nd, Mars here in the very first house in Aries, and any kind of distraction you may not like, but this is one distraction which cannot be done away with. And similar thing is possible with if you are in the business partnerships. Cases like you want to go for a certain contract, but your partner doesn't want to. He is not going to be as aggressive as you are during this period. So developing a good understanding here is also critical. Yeah, and one thing I think I forgot in the professional front is that the position of Mercury and Sun are such that and also Jupiter here, which shows some gains from government related contracts. So if you are a contractor who works in any capacity with government organizations or any organization which has a certain kind of authority, like municipal corporations or court or any government run institutions, etc., then this time would be good for you. Especially first 3 months will be good for getting new contracts and just working. Monetary gains after 3 months. Now just one more thing which comes out very clearly from this chart is that if you are into occult practitioners or into any kind of occult practice, like it could be yantra, mantra or other things, then for Aries native this year could prove to be very significant. So friends, this was a very quick snap and quick analysis of some of the key things which a Aries native can expect in the year 2021. We'll keep on making videos about the major transits during the year so that you remain updated about timings of various events which we have talked about in this video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to get updates like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Please do check out the description and links below for more details. Thank you. Bye-bye.